From is an intriguing mystery thriller, set deep in the heart of the US, where a mysterious city imprisons anyone who enters. The layered mystery has only grown with the second season and beyond, making for an enticing watch throughout. If you finish watching this one and are looking for alternate picks, we've combed through the archives and saved you the hassle with our top 10 picks that aren't spin-offs or set in the same universe. As always, let us know your favourites in the comments and which of these you've watched. So without further ado, let's start the countdown. Outer Range is a moody, atmospheric neo-noir thriller. The story takes place on a large expanse of land in Wyoming, US, split by a dividing fence between two rival farms. When Royal uncovers a bizarre mystery on the western expanse of his land, he's unwittingly sucked into a sci-fi bending plot that changes his life forever. This is intertwined with a brewing rivalry between the Abbott and Tillerson families. Royal's sons, Perry and Rhett, end up fighting with Wayne Tillerson's boys at a bar that night, with Trevor and Perry trading blows and causing tragedy to strike. When an investigation is launched against the Abbott family by Sheriff Joy, the mystery starts to ramp up in a big way. It is worth noting though that Outer Range was cancelled after season 2 with a cliffhanger ending, but if you can go in knowing that, the ride there is certainly worth taking all the same. Carnivàle is a complex and visually stunning show that blends elements of historical fiction, religion and the supernatural together. The story is set during the Great Depression and Dust Bowl era, following two seemingly disparate groups of people, the carnies of a travelling carnival and a preacher's congregation in California. The central narrative revolves around two primary characters, Ben Hawkins, a young man with strange healing powers who becomes part of the carnival, and brother Justin Crow, a charismatic preacher who develops a dangerous and manipulative ability. The series teases an ultimate confrontation between these two characters, which is coined with a struggle between good and evil. Carnivàle boasts a complex and deeply layered narrative. It delves into topics such as faith, destiny, and the aforementioned nature of good and evil, but it's also a slow burn narrative that'll reward your patience. This one is immensely rewarding for those who invest the time into it. FlashForward was an unfortunate casualty of the network TV cancellation Russian roulette. In a post-Lost era, every TV show jumped on the mystery box bandwagon with varying degrees of success. FlashForward, despite its similarities to Lost opening, quickly stepped beyond that to deliver an addictive slice of sci-fi. The main premise here sees the entire world's population black out for approximately 2 minutes and 17 seconds. The effect of this leads the entire world to catch a glimpse of life 6 months in the future. With the world changed forever, an elite FBI task force is formed to investigate just what happened and why. As the episodes progress, more of this mystery starts to unravel, and along the way there are lots of big cliffhangers and shocking twists. It's too bad ABC killed this one after a single season, and despite its agonising cliffhanger ending, this one is definitely worth a watch. If thematic depth is your jam, The Leftovers is definitely worth checking out. Running for 3 seasons, the story picks up just after a global event called the Sudden Departure. This inexplicable event sees the disappearance of 140 million people, or 2% of the world's population to be precise. Following that, mainstream religions decline, which paves way for a number of cults to emerge. The most notable among them is the Guilty Remnant. The story picks up from here, and we're not going to spoil much more here, but it only grows more intriguing and interesting over time. The Leftovers is an absolute must-watch. Yellowjackets is the latest must-watch mystery series, with a combination of horror, drama and wild fan theories. The story centres on a high school soccer squad who hop aboard a plane together and crash land in the wilderness. The timeline also shifts to the present day here, 25 years later, as we see what happened to the individuals who survived and how their experience has changed them. Well written and with a nicely crafted mystery at its core, Yellowjackets should whet the appetite for fans of From its stunning opening scene to the suitably bombastic climax, 30 Coins is a creepy, suspenseful and atmospheric show that's sure to please horror and mystery fans. The story blends elements of alt history akin to that seen in Dan Brown novels with a creepy underbelly of supernatural phenomena. The show starts with a mysterious figure walking into a bank and stealing a coin from a safety deposit box. Unfazed by bullets and seemingly indestructible, he hands over a coin to a shadowy priest. Meanwhile, an exiled priest tries to escape his demons, living in a remote village in Spain. From here, the story only grows weirder and more frantic as the episodes progress. To give much more away would be a disservice to this story, but suffice to say, 30 Coins is well worth your time. Wayward Pines is one of those shows you really need to suspend your belief and logic to enjoy fully. While the second season does tend to go off the rails a bit, the first season in particular serves up a decent amount of drama across its runtime. The story here revolves around Secret Service agent Ethan Burke, who arrives in the town of Wayward Pines with a big mission. 2 federal agents have gone missing and it's up to him to find out what's happened. Only instead of answers, he finds himself consumed with even more questions. As he starts to dive headfirst into the rabbit hole, Ethan realises to his horror that he may never get out of Wayward Pines alive. As far as compelling mysteries go, Wayward Pines has some nice ideas, even if it does deliver answers a little too quickly. Despite that, there's certainly enough here to enjoy. The Society is essentially a modern day spin on Lord of the Flies. When a strange smell descends over an American town, the kids soon come to realise all the adults are missing. Even stranger still, the town is now inexplicably surrounded by thick, lush forestry. When the smell finally disappears, the kids realise that their town holds small differences that play a bigger part in the plot further down the line. Do be warned though that the Society was cancelled by Netflix during the middle of 2020 and as such does not have a conclusion. Still, it's a fun ride up until that point. Chapelwaite is a horror drama based on the short story Jerusalem's Lot by Stephen King. The series stars Adrian Brody and follows a character, Captain Charles Boone, who relocates his family of 3 children to his ancestral home in the town of Preacher's Corners, Maine, after his wife's death at sea. However, the Boone family is met with hostility from the townspeople, and they begin to discover the home and the town are hiding dark secrets tied to the Boone lineage. As Charles uncovers the unsettling history, he also battles with voices in his mind, urging him to commit acts of unspeakable horror. Chapelwaite effectively captures the atmospheric and psychological horror associated with King's writing. The plot unwinds at a steady pace, adding suspense and maintaining interest until the very end. Back in 2004, a tiny show called Lost went way over budget with its pilot episode. The consequences of that saw several people fired. Little did they know, this mishap would help grow Lost into a worldwide phenomenon that completely changed the way people watch TV. This highly engrossing mystery series revolves around a group of plane crash survivors, washing up on shore and fighting for survival on a very weird island holding many, many secrets. So there we have it, our 10 TV show alternatives to watch when you finish watching From on MGM+. So what did you think of our picks? Do you agree? Are there any notable omissions? Or do you think we're way off the mark? Either way, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.